Yo, collect and connect.
Blake and Chad. Chad
And Blake.
Collect
And connect.
Blake and Chad's Collect and Connect.
This is Luke Chu. Dave Presley.
Blake and Chad's.
This is
Blake and Chad's.
This is
Collect and Connect.
On Twitter, Galaxy Sailor, and I always say I knew vibrationally it was different. Like my body shook. I was like, this is not normal. And I was like, wait, do I have to print something? Do I have to package it?
Nope.
My body, nothing. Like I don't have to do anything.
That's it.
That's it. And I swear I was in that zone of like not knowing like what just happened for like a day, and then it was like, all right, you can't stop. And I already had, again, I had a good 3 years of quality work, and I knew exactly which ones had sold as prints, how many had sold as multiple prints. I had a great, amount of data of what was going to do well. So if you look at my known origin, I was the #1 selling artist on known origin within about a month and a half of being on there. And I kept that title ever since, up to about a month and a half ago, which I think it had been about 300 primary sales. So if you look at secondary sales volume, it's X copy, obviously. They changed the algorithm, so I went to #2 instead of #1, which is,
It was
not
over
hurt.
that one.
Let's look at the
Damn algorithms.
I'm not competitive by any means. Algorithms, but with till about a month ago, it was like around 350, 60 NFTs sold. Today, it's around 2,050. So about in a bear market, over 1,700 NFTs sold.
Wow.
Hey, congratulations, man. That
Yeah,
is
definitely
fucking
congrats on that.
amazing.
That's huge.
And that's
Compared to
Especially in this
everything else
market.
you did too, man. It's like icing on the cake, I'm sure, man. It's just like
It's been great. I mean, a lot of that is actually because of the collaboration we did with everybody. So not only I was selling higher editions at lower prices, which allowed a lot of people to get into the Sabet ecosystem, the Sabet family kind of situation, but there was also this the Kiku collaboration that's an open collab. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But it's allowed hundreds of artists to get involved. I think we've sold at least 500 or 600 NFTs that are collabs that were completely open and up to the artists and bringing light to that artist. So again, my goal isn't to do this alone, right? It's always been ever since Mojizu and connecting with Mojizu artists. I mean, 50,000 artists that the initial 1,000 I brought in by emailing them individually one at a time. I've always had this natural, whether I liked it or not, at times I didn't like it, at times I did. I've always had this draw to connect with other artists, and I love other artists. Actually, one of the artists that I have been friends with since Mojizu, he was one of my first members in 2005, whatever we now, 2000, that's 18 years ago, was Luther.
Yeah.
And look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Luther t-shirt tonight.
wow. Yeah. Look at that.
Check out Luther. Luther is a dope ass artist. I mean, this guy has done beautiful things. I mean, he's prolific. I mean, I remember back then we used to do art trades with each other. I would send him some chicken scratches. He would send me completed sketchbooks with like finished artwork that he spent thousands of hours on. And
Like, here's an napkin with my sketch.
yeah, have fun. I was like, oh my God, I still have everything that he sent me. But we're really good friends now as well. And I brought him into the NFT world, and he's been doing big things. And his PFE projects are coming out, and it's just beautiful work,
Great.
So
What is it that you do to disconnect when you're not creating? Just to kind of mellow out and, reset.
yeah, man. Like nothing, dude. Like it's really hard. Today I was feeling it. I was like, I don't, I don't have the ability to let go of things. Like I go, all right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm not gonna do anything. And the first thing I do is grab the iPad and sit on my chair. And I'm in like one of my projects, right? Because I'm like, I have so many things that I have to finish and being on my own. And at the same time, I love doing it. I think literally the only thing I can do without without creating is sleep. It's like when I'm sleeping, because I have
Until you wake up from that dream, you're like, oh wait, that was a good one.
yeah,
I gotta write this down.
it's crazy. I even got like I don't like Samsung devices, but I got a Samsung phone because it has a stylus and you can paint on it. Like that's something that I'll put in the pocket if we're going to like a family gathering or a party, because I'll probably look idiotic if I'm painting on this. And I'll paint on my phone with. There's a lot of paintings that you've probably seen and minted that are iPhone paintings, but like I wanted something with more detail, for example. So I'm always having something to be able to create. My bag is full of like I carry a purse now.
Immerse, it's
Which has
immerse, man. It's immerse.
where is it?
It's all good.
My-
Blake has one too.
you know what? I would have started carrying one if I knew how good it is, like maybe 10 years, 20 years ago. But I have my sketchbook, all my pens, brushes, and an iPad mini in there. So I can basically have a mobile studio. It's really hard. It's really hard to shut it off. And it becomes frustrating until you get on it and nothing is coming out. And then you're like, all right, I got to put it away. But I have started in the past 6 months on a physical healing journey. So we've been swimming like 1 hour a day. I've been getting into that, which I never would have
Right.
done a long time ago. And that's been really nice to decompress. And then lifting, I just got this thing installed yesterday. You see that thing over there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those are awesome.
Oh my
It's the mirrors,
God.
right?
With the
All the
tonal?
time. Yeah, that thing
That's the
reflects and
tonal.
tells you what to do.
Oh my God, dude, it like transports you into the gym. Like it's
That's pretty
real.
crazy.
It's really crazy.
Well, there you go. That's how you release. That's how you get out.
Definitely. I do the same thing.
Get that.
So I like to
mental-
release, go to the
mental break.
gym, push some weights around.
Yeah.
Chad's always in the gym.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, hey, where are you guys? Like, oh, I'm at the gym. I'm like, man, when I see you one day, you better be huge and Arnold Schwarzenegger because you're always in the gym.
Definitely not. But hey, day-to-day stress, it's a good way to relieve it.
For sure, for
I
sure.
tell you.
Who
Do you like to? Do you have a favorite artist that you like to collect?
So I had a bunch of my physicals are actually in the physical studio, which is my garage. So I call this the digital studio, which I haven't put a lot up. I'm just finally getting into it. For me, I have a lot of like tchotchkes and small objects and things like that. This is like a Lalique little dragon. He's really cute because I was born in '76. This is a really cool little one of one, and not a one of one. I think it was a one of 100, but I got number one. It's actually an NFT that I bought, and then I'm not even a skull ring guy, but I had to have this because it's the 7 chakras on his mohawk. And I don't know if you guys know.
Chakras, yeah.
So I bought the NFT, and then she made this custom for me based on the NFT 3D. And then, of course, I have a lot of the what is it? Not the bobblehead. They're bobbleheads.
The
Pops.
Funkos, Pops.
Funko. But crazy story about Funko. Years later, I decided to bring back Mojizu, right? And when I emailed everyone that we had on the list, hey, would you join back up? One of them, and then a lot of people didn't come back because we're all older and doing different things. One of them said, thank you so much for Mojizu. It inspired me to get into characters. I ended up becoming the creative director of Funko, and then eventually started his own character design app, which was insane. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of contemporary characters, which all of this stuff falls underneath, right? And so I do have a couple of Koziks in my studio right now that were painted on halfway, when he was doing the blanks. And what's interesting is back then, like 99, 2000, I would have killed somebody to just be able to talk to Kozik, or people like him to be able to give me an opportunity to bring Pixel Pop to the world, right? And who knew that like 20 years later I'd be on the phone with him, talking to him about how to make his NFTs on OpenSea, and him giving me advice and telling me, hey, what do you want to do with your art? Do you want to bring it into, put it in Target? Do you want to? I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. But it's like 20 years later, and your goals and dreams change and shift, and but it's amazing that it comes full circle, and we're all part of the same world. And but I do collect a ton of the stuff. I don't have a specific right now. I do love Snoopy. Snoopy is probably my first character that I ever loved, because when I was 3 years old living in the States before we moved back to Iran, my kindergarten teacher gave me a stuffed animal, Snoopy. And to this day, Snoopy is kind of like a little thing for me. I mean, here's a little watch, little Snoopy watch. Yeah, I got a little signed print over here. It's tiny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, but I got to put a lot more stuff up. But I'll show you guys a physical right now.
Yeah. Let's see. We love physicals.
Here we go.
We love the physicals.
We got the first Kiku mug
Ooh.
ever.
Oh, cool.